Yeah, from Little Kim, the Queen Bee. It's ladies' night, what? It must be Angie on the mic. The butter pea, honey, got the sugar, got the spice. Roll the L tight, keep the rhymes right. Yo, I just straight this motherfucker up last night. And I'm the rookie on this all-star team. Me and Kim is getting cream, like Thelma and Louise, but on chrome. Never leave that Brooklyn shit alone. So if you say it's on, then it's on. Bang this in your whips, back from Coda Roadie with the chips in the wrist. Here's a French kiss. I dismiss all you chicks. Spit 6 from the 4th, 5th, make it dance. Ow! I stay focused and the dope is like a penny with the hole in it.
It's always a pleasure to welcome you to the program Ladies Night. My name is Ameze Obai Siagban. I'm not alone in the studio. As always, I've got my two ladies right here talking about C White and of course Mama P. How are you girls doing tonight?
I'm fine.
Okay. How about you, Mama P?
I'm okay. I'm fine. I know you missed me. I
Actually,
missed you too.
no.
I wasn't expecting otherwise.
Because
I'm not missing anybody. I'm just there on my own. OYO.
seriously,
See White.
you had to do
You
that.
just betrayed me. I thought you said out there that you missed me.
Okay, I think I caught both of you now. I missed both of you, to be honest.
Anyways, today we're not going to be talking about how you should miss someone. We're going to be looking at something that has been in existence for a long while. I think even as old as man has been in existence, talking about corruption. Now, what we're looking at basically is, when does an act become corruption? Is it just for a particular set of people, or is it for anybody and everybody at all? Can anybody be corrupt? That's what we're going to be looking at, because a lot of people basically look at corruption and say it's politicians, it's big men, it's people who have high positions. But sometimes we see that even those with very little positions, those who don't even have positions, are actually corrupt as well, especially in our country, Nigeria. So we're going to look at that today. I'm going to start off with defining what corruption is, and we're going to dissect it step by step. Now, Wikipedia actually sees corruption as a form of dishonesty or criminal offense undertaken by a person or organization that is entrusted with a position of authority to acquire illicit benefit or abuse power for one's private gain. Now, this is a very, very long definition. I have this other one saying corruption is a dishonest or fraudulent act or conduct by those in power, typically involving bribery. Now, Mama P, do you think it's just for those who are actually in power, or even you can be corrupt?
I think this is kind of dicey, because whatever I say now will be used against me along the line.
In the Empress Court of Law.
Yeah.
In the Empress Court of Law, that's true. Me, I'm actually of the opinion that corruption, anybody can be corrupt, right? Anybody can be corrupt. Anybody can be corrupt. Like, the default stage of man is corrupt. Yes, the default stage of man. So I'm not of the opinion that it's for a particular set of persons. Yes, corruption is on different grades. Let's put it like that. It's not for a particular set of persons. It's for everybody. Anybody can be corrupt. But, you know, your grade of corruption could be PhD, while mine is just primary school. You know, so that we put it in layman's language.
The level differs.
Well,
Yes.
I feel corruption is corruption, whether it's big or it's small. Just the way sin is sin, whether it's a big sin or a small sin.
Corruption is not corruption. I beg to disagree.
Okay, CY, how about you? Do you believe corruption is not corruption?
Corruption is corruption, but there are different levels of corruption.
No. You just contradicted yourself. You said I'm saying corruption is not corruption, and she's saying corruption is corruption. So what
She
are you
said
saying?
corruption is not corruption, right?
Yeah.
And you said corruption is corruption.
No. I
No.
said corruption is corruption. Whether
I
it's
said
big-
corruption is not
She's
corruption.
confused.
We need to cut this place off.
when corruption, when you have someone who commits a very big act of corruption and someone else who commits something really little, does it?
Okay.
Is there any
Okay, now
difference?
let me start by
Can
saying
you say
this.
this one is not? This one is too small to be called corruption, or this one is? This one
I
definitely
think
is
that's where we
corruption.
now call that one minor crime. But let me just say, corruption is corruption. Let me just say it. Whether big or small, when you do something that is not right and is considered as a corrupt act, yes, will see it as corruption. But now let's not go far from this now. Corruption to me, it's let me say it's an umbrella term used to describe anything that is not right, or something is an act that can lead to a private gain, which could easily be probably cash or power. So like you also defined, you gave us a little definition about corruption, which is an abuse of an entrusted power.
Yeah.
So basically, a lot of people just see corruption as bribery.
Yes, I'm going to come to that, because one of the definitions I actually gave out said typically involving bribery, which means it's not necessarily working hand in hand with bribery, but sometimes you get to see that when someone is bribery,
yes, there is more to it. There is more to corruption than bribery, but a lot of people get to have this mindset when you talk about corruption. What comes to their mind first is bribery. They just feel is just, I think, basically, they hold that word bribery to a high esteem when you talk about corruption, and nothing else comes to their mind. But let's not just go far from this, that corruption is far bigger than bribery.
But I beg to differ there. Bribery is vast.
Yes, that's
I know you're coming in the terms of finance, money, right? But bribery goes beyond money.
Yeah,
bribery
it's
cash and kind.
It's cash and kind.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I said it's vast. And let's not just keep saying that, okay, everybody, there's no specific definition as to what corruption is, because everybody have different mindsets as to what corruption is based on personal experience. I might come out and say, okay, I want to say this is what I tag as corruption, and to you it doesn't seem like corruption, but to me it is. You understand? So a lot of people have different mindset about corruption and what they really can say, okay, this is what I can actually consider about corruption.
Okay, I think if we are going to go by your explanation that different people have different mindset about corruption, we will just have to come to the court of Google, right, and stick to what Merriam-Webster is saying, or Wikipedia is saying, that corruption is for those in power. Typically bribery.
Not necessarily.
So we don't contradict ourselves.
It's not necessarily for those in power. Like she rightly said, it's for those who have an entrusted authority.
Yes.
You have the power at that moment. Not that you're the Minister of Finance or you're the Commissioner for Education or something like that.
Yes.
You could just be the secretary in your office and you're corrupt.
Yes.
Just because you have that position as the secretary.
Yes.
Do you understand? So I feel it's for everybody and anybody. It's not limited to those who are rich or those who are politicians who are up there. I feel it's all encompassing.
Yeah, it takes
me
two.
too. I said that it's vast. I also said it's vast, but it has grades. And I'm sticking to that. Corruption has grades. I'm not going to... The corruption of a bus driver is not equivalent to the corruption of those in political authority. I beg to differ.
Well, a bus driver can't have access to what a commissioner has access to.
Everybody at all levels have different ways of exercising corruption.
Yes.
So in your own small way, rather, it's big.
No, not really.
It is in your own
not
way.
Really. Like,
let's say, okay, we are all together here, and let's say we're all at the same level.
Yes.
Now, I do something that is fraudulent. For us at this level, it is a big thing.
Okay.
It's because you're comparing it now with, okay, that other level.
Okay.
That's why you're saying corruption is not corruption.
Now, let's go towards motives. A bus driver is inflicting price that he's not supposed to, because he wants to make more money for ends meet, right?
Yeah.
So he can meet certain bills. Do you get why exactly our politicians going through
who makes you think
padding?
They don't have...
No, I need to understand.
They don't have
because
needs that they want to fulfill.
I need to understand, because we are aware of their salaries, we are aware of their what do they call it?
Allowances.
Allowances. Oh my God, we are aware of their contracts and so many things. Come on, we are surviving on the loot of one man. What exactly are they looking for? So that's why I say it has grade. I'm not comparing these people. You see someone was arrested. I read in news in Instablog some days back where a man said that he's not going to stop this particular crime of impersonation because that's what his family feeds on. That if they give him a job, he will happily handle. That he's saying it now. This is someone that's about to be killed. And he said that he has family who's, I think if the country has some level of stability, some little corruption, like I will call them, or crime, I won't even call them, but it will cease.
I don't really agree with you. I don't totally agree with you, because
except we are defining
as a result of personal interest.
Except we are defining corruption, except we are defining crime different from corruption.
Corruption is a crime.
Yes, but
So
what I'm saying,
they are intertwined.
so why are you trying to disagree with me on this particular topic?
What I'm saying is the fact that a big man did this and let me put this word, let me use it like this: a small man did it and at his own level does not mean both of them are not wrong. The fact that I stole because my children were hungry and I didn't have money to give them does not change the fact that I stole.
Yes.
And stealing is wrong.
And now you say
so the fact that you're doing it for something good does not make it right in any way.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they have grades of corruption. Now the punishment for murder, is it the same as the punishment for assault? That you slapped someone and they charged you to court.
It's never the same.
Is it the same? It has grade. Crimes have grade. Corruption has grades. You hear say you see some when the whistleblowing was trending, you see some will give you information, you go into a house of money, like a house of money, some money are rotting up, you know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My own point in this whole stuff is corruption has grade. Let's not just come and say that corruption is corruption. The one that happened on the street is the same with the con woman that's supposed to sell for you 200 naira, selling for you 200 naira. Is the same as someone paddling billions of naira.
No, it's never the same.
It's not the same.
Why we don't? We're not viewing it like that. It's because
now
they've not caught someone who is selling tomatoes, for instance. Maybe they bought it at 15 naira and now you're selling it. Okay, I think we should also dissect between business, because putting gain on what you are selling, I don't totally agree that it is corruption. There's an extent to where your gain will reach that it is not actually corruption.
Okay.
I know you're into business now.
Yes.
Now you buy something for 1,000 naira, you're selling it at 5,000 naira. Is that corruption?
No, business was just an instance. Business, personal businesses is at your own discretion.
Yeah.
If people don't like it, they will leave you. You understand? I just use that as an instance. If I'm selling my stuff for 5,000 naira, I'm sure I'm not the only person selling that stuff in the whole of that Axis, except I'm now using, for instance, now I don't want to go far or mentioning names. A particular product that is only this person who is bringing it into the country, and meaning if you don't buy from this person, there's no other place, and the person is, because of that, increasing price. Outside that corruption, it's no longer trying to get gain. That's now corruption, biting on the people who are under him or her. Do you understand? No need mentioning names. So business was just an instance, though. Let's take, for instance,
so I think, let me just quickly say this. Where the Empress is trying to say, if it is corruption, you know, they say too much of everything is bad. So I believe what she's trying to point out here is, if those people who are selling something, at least, you know, you bought this thing for 1,000 naira. Why trying to make excess gain from it? At least you can make it go round. People can actually afford it. Like some people will say, okay, I don't know when I will sell the remaining ones. Let me see if I can get the money for the other ones from this one product. So they want to sell that one times 20 of what they are not supposed to sell it, just to cover up for the other ones. If they don't sell the other ones, they feel, okay, I'm good, I've been able to make profit from only one sales. So I think adding excess money to your product is somehow, let me not say,
okay, what about a person who gets, let's use your sneakers for as an example now. Okay. Let's assume your sneakers is, I'm not supposed to use the, okay, let me just say it's Caroline, it's a designer. Caroline is the name of the designer. Now, there's a designer that is lower quality that is called Sandra, for instance. Okay. Now, I get a Sandra sneakers that looks like a Caroline sneakers, and I sell it at the same price as the Caroline sneakers. Is that corruption?
Well,
They both look alike.
yes.
They both look alike, but one is of low quality while the other one is a very high quality.
That is corruption.
It is corruption
That
because
is
now
fraud.
it is fraud.
That is
because
fraud.
You never made that
In-
person. Some people don't know the difference between all these things. They
No,
feel
let's
whatever
just-
you even tell them, they
Let's
agree.
just say the way they're going to understand is Zara.
No, you can't call names.
Okay, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
it's fraud. In Western country, they're going to sue you because a lot of our Abba boys do these things and are falling victims.
Yeah,
several
brothers,
times.
if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I'm not from Abba. Oh my God,
Many
I'm
people
falling
don't
victims
know.
severally.
You know,
but
because
you
you
know, I
don't
was-
even know the difference.
Yes, I
and
was
they will
listening
know
to my
what to
friend.
explain.
You know, he was talking to me and he bought something and it was he sued and they compensated him
Exactly. That's because
richly
he found out
in
the
a
time.
country that is working. But in this place, that's why I said it's ingrained. Everybody's just picking their own share of corruption, you know.
Yeah.
So to
Well,
me,
the
that
point
is
That
corruption.
particular act is corruption.
It's
you
fraud.
don't extort money from people
And
like
please,
that.
people
You
should
don't make
stop
people
doing
feel
it.
like, okay, because you don't know. And have you gotten to a stage where you want to go and buy something and people will tell you that I'm just doing this thing because of you and they don't know you?
Yes.
Just know that that person have duped you. Because
Very true.
I can't imagine myself buying something from you and you're telling me that this thing is sold for 20,000 naira and all of a sudden we're able to bargain for 15,000 and you're telling me I'm just giving you because it's you. You don't
20
know
and
me from
15 is even sensitive.
No, I'm just trying to.
I have an
but-
experience today.
Yeah.
I went out to repair something, and the first place that we went to, the person actually said, this thing is 28,000. And we're like 28k. We even thought maybe you say 4,000, like just to change something in the electronics. And the guy said, "Oh, because it's you, bros, because now you, just bring 18k from 28 to
just
18."
imagine the difference.
We said no, we don't have that money. We were about to leave.
Yeah.
Give us our thing. Let's be going. We'll look for somewhere else. And I said, okay, bring 10k, bring 10k.
Imagine.
We still said no, and this guy dropped all the way to 6,000 from 28,000.
You know,
What kind of gain are you trying to
I
make?
don't
That's
understand.
a major turn off for me. Like I come to your shop and you tell me this thing is 30k, and by mistake you now agreed to 15k. Even if the next shop is doing it for 16k, I'll go and do it in the next shop for 16k.
At least
it's
for-
a
for-
turn
for-
off.
yes,
How do you
I've
go
done something
from
like that.
30k? Because even at that 15k, you have your gain.
Yes.
You have already made your game very well. Now, because some persons will come out that knows about that stuff will come and do it for 10k or 12k. Now you will not call 30k. If I was a mugu, I would just give you
No, that does not know anything.
15K.
Oh, yeah, God.
I said, how do they do it?
They don't have
I'm an
patience.
entrepreneur.
They don't
and
have
I'll
patience.
beat my chest to it that all my clients, the rate at which I give you goods, you can't get it out as elsewhere. I did some kind of empowerment, you understand, just mini empowerments, to help, community. And then some of my clients showed interest in my line of business. You get, I added them to a group. And so when I get goods, I drop it there at wholesale price. And one chatted me like, how come this jacket, for instance, it's 5,500 naira, but I bought it from you 6,000 naira. I said, just so you know, that for the whole stress you were calling me and insulting me, I made just 500 naira. And then I gave her the pic. I knew she was. I gave her the number of my dealer. I said, I'm busy right now. Contact my dealer directly.
Direct, so that you communicate.
And she was added to the main page. She now saw that everything she has bought from me from the starting of this year is no more than 2,000 naira again. But I'm not complaining because I have a large client base, right? So even if I make 500 naira from you, I can make from 10 other persons and cover up. But greed, I think we get to talk about it. Greed is the major problem in Nigeria. I think greed is corruption.
Yeah. It is, because they always want
Yes.
more. Oliver Twist, they ask for more, they are never satisfied. Even if they sell it for, okay, let me say they sell it for 5,500 and they get 500 as gain, they will begin to ask themselves question. They will begin to doubt themselves. And if I had added 2,000 on top of this, don't you think this person would have bought this thing?
Yes.
They will start regret. That is greed.
Yes.
They are never satisfied and they will never appreciate the little one they get. So when you talk about business and people adding gains and all that, yes, we know, because it's something they do. It's not something that boom like that.
Yes.
Probably someone will just buy one shoe today. It takes 3 other days for someone to come again and get another one. So you feel like you want to just get something that can carry you through till someone else patronizes you. But they don't really believe in what they call turnover. when you sell your things at a very cheaper price, people will definitely come to patronize you more. Even if it's not in large quantity, but at least your patronage will be consistent. People would always come to patronize it. So talking about corruption, corruption differs. Everybody have different ways of manipulating people.
Yes.
When you when you want to talk about nepotism, where you get to see people fighting for just their family members, people they are close to.
That's corruption.
You know, there are just different type of corruption. They don't think about other people. They're just so concerned about their family members, people, their brothers. And if you're not close to me, if you're not my family member, if you're not from my village, bye-bye.
You don't get the job. That's exactly why I said it's at your own level. So the fact that I'm not a rich person, in quotes, and this other rich man does the same thing does not make it any different.
No, it's different actually.
It's not different.
No, it's different. Corruption.
It's not different.
Corruption, because when we say corruption in the modern day world, everybody's pointing at the government.
That's why.
When we say corruption, everybody's pointing at those in higher authority, because they are the real corruption.
They are the real people.
Like they are the real corruption. As in, how can you tell me that our Chinese helps are missing?
That's because
our Chinese doctors.
That's where you're getting this wrong.
Do you understand?
It is when they have power, and that's because they have a very large power. Now, if you're in your own small
world,
exactly, small world, and you have your own small power, you do the same thing. And trust me, if you were in that same position, many people who are insulting them today would do even worse than what they're doing. So, what are we saying?
That's true, but I've also seen statistics of people who used to be bad for certain reasons, and when they got what they wanted, they changed. Do you understand? You don't really know. You don't know anybody till you give them money and power. I ain't going to judge a poor man's loyalty or humility or wickedness. I don't know. There are so many reasons why broke-ass people do things. Do you understand? So that's why I'm always skeptical when I won't judge a girl standing on the street. Prostitution is bad, but I won't judge her. I don't know her predicament. I don't know where she's coming from. Do you understand? She's adding to the corruption in the state. But I'm judging the rich ones because they are the end of affairs. They have bigger opportunities to make the change we want. Do you understand? To make the change we want, but they are not doing nothing.
They are self-centered.
They're not doing nothing.
You guys are just throwing shades at them.
No,
I don't really think that's good.
It's not about throwing shades.
No,
it's not about throwing shades. It's about talking about the suffering that we see daily.
You get to see people in high authority, political, politicians and all that. They fight for people under them just because they want to defend people that are working for them based on power. Now, why people look at those in politics or government or anything as people who are more into corruption is because those people, they have more power and they fail to do the needful, and whatever they do up there is so glaring that they are not doing the right thing.
Whatever they do up there
is affecting those beneath.
So they find it very difficult. Beneath are doing is even affecting those even beneath.
So exactly, that's why I know what Mama P is trying to say, that corruption differs. But what you yourself you're trying to say,
I'm saying it's all corruption.
It's the same thing. They're all corruption because it differs based on power, based on position, based on status and all that. If you're in the lower level and you're also practicing what they call corruption, you are doing.
I don't want to start calling government offices or giving instances, obvious instances. Now let me throw. I don't know if I'm permitted to use a particular force as an example. Like I see them on the road. They are not well catered for. We accuse them on daily. Why would they be carrying 20 naira? Why would they be carrying 15 naira? Well, most of them feed on those 20 naira. They repair their patrol vans from those 20 naira. Are you aware?
I'm very much aware because I've heard someone saying
they do everything from that 20 naira they get from you.
But does it make it correct?
It doesn't make it right. It is wrong. But I think it does not work. No, it does not work in this country. Those protests really work.
At times
you will be arrested if you are in front.
Basically,
the only protest that works in Nigeria right now is social media.
Yeah.
Actually, even the normal process, sometimes it works.
Doesn't work.
When you disturb them, I can give an instance. Talking about the pensioners in Edo State. those people, in fact, me, I was even tired of them because I was always going to cover them and some of my other colleagues when they're on the streets. They always had one outfit. Either is today they are wearing blue, tomorrow they are wearing black, next day they are wearing red. They were consistent, always doing, and they paid most of them. Not all. I don't know about everybody because I hear some are
out of 10
but it worked
in Nigeria. Out of 10 protests in Nigeria,
keep trying. Never stop trying. That's my own.
What I'm saying
sometimes we give up.
What I'm saying,
yes, in the process of protesting all the time, some people lose their lives. So how?
Then she was trying to talk about the police.
Our media covered.
Have the police ever tried?
Our media covered when some boys protested. Right? Yeah. Protested in a particular area where the high rate of harassment of police and police brutality and the rest of them, and then before you know, another armed forces came and beat them off the street, shooting guns in the air. Oh, I was there. I was present. I was there. It was live. I was there. I saw them. I was there. You were there?
Yeah, she was.
I was there. I was the person who welcomed the DPO of the area. I was there alongside.
I need to check my camera.
I'm for real. I was there. I saw only one of our staffs there. You understand? But I didn't see I didn't know you guys were there. I was there. The soldier man did gave me "I'll kill you" sign because I was the one shouting from behind. I was right there. Do you understand? But we still have people coming down there to harass them, even after that kind of protest. That
now let's use what you're saying as an example.
Yes, please.
Now these people are fraudsters. I'm sorry to use
the word. I'm sorry to use say that you are alleging.
No,
that is
because I interviewed the people what I saw and what I knew.
I was there. I stay in that vicinity. No, I stay in that vicinity, and I will agree strong. I will disagree to what you are saying. The people there you saw there. Maybe you interviewed the fraudsters. We had bike men there. No, there's no gathering of more than 10 that you have 10 cents. Even among the disciples of Jesus Christ, one was bad. Yeah. Do you understand? Now, the people there were bike men. The people there were keke drivers. I remember that one welder man close to the shop I rented was there. He has been harassed. Hair stylists, because of the kind of hair they carry, so they are like moving signboards. They were there. Everybody there is suffering. Everybody will know whatever. The one I went to be recently is an hairstylist. Let's not talk about the amount and the rest of it. So everybody was just coming out to air their view. Of course, the bad ones will still come outside and say, I'm innocent. Do you understand? But in every nonsense, you just filter the sense.
And make use of it. And
now, I'm not saying what the police is doing in that, or doing in that place allegedly is right. But I'm saying that if there are actually some people who are internet fraudsters that live there, they are the cause of it.
They are the cause of it.
Then but if they are the cause of it,
the truth is, when you're doing something right, nobody's going to harass you.
No, not in Nigeria. Not in Nigeria.
My own blood brother was on a bus. We are in a bus, and there are like 6 guys in that bus. They select the people that they tell to come.
What do you think they select them?
They bring you down.
Don't criticize people's dressing. Don't criticize people's dressing. Your dressing is your pattern. It's your style. It's what you want. Me, for one, I'm not a fan of trousers. I just learned it recently. But I love short skirts. You would even see the demarcation in my laps because that's where my skirts get to. Do you understand? Your dressing is your lifestyle, is your pattern. It's in this part of the country that you see someone with dread and you call her a witch. You see a woman putting on waist bead and you call her she's an ogbanje. You see one putting on leg chain, you call her she's a prostitute. It's in this part of the world, and we have to go beyond that. We have to get above that. You see police who just stop a particular bus. My leader, a comrade, was...
When you dress, I'm sorry to use this word bluntly, when you dress like a prostitute and people call you a prostitute, I don't see why you should be
What's the dressing of a prostitute?
Because you should dress the way you want to be addressed.
What's the dressing of a prostitute?
I'm just giving an instance.
I know some persons who go on full coverage. Let's not call it hijab now. Full coverage, and they are prostitutes.
Definitely, I'm not.
So let me understand why you are judging the person who has chosen this particular lifestyle.
Let's not go far from what we're saying. I know the Empress actually said sometimes your dressing depicts what you're capable of doing, but let's not still understand that sometimes our dressing is is a different interpretation of who the person actually is.
Yeah, well, but first impression matters.
A
police officer is not going to sit you down and start asking you questions, for instance.
There are some,
yes, when you look suspicious to them, according to their training.
Every young man.
But don't forget that you can actually ask
every young man is suspicious.
It's not
every young man.
That's
I know. There's a protest we almost took to state headquarters, and thank God it was handled quickly. He doesn't put on dread. He's on low court. He's the most decent person I've seen amongst the comrade community. He has a legal business. But because he was putting on a shirt that they drew 7 and 8, they asked him to come down. They asked him to pay bribery. And they took him to the to headquarters and filed courtesan. Well, we came because we can vouch for him. What are you doing? You just stop your bus. You select like, oh, he's the only young man, other poor women. Come down.
And then sometimes about these things cannot really express.
If they are trained. If you interview a criminal, within to say even you as a woman, you will know. When you interview this person, you search up, search down, there is nothing there. You still insist on something they don't know about. The other day I was sick. My brother was going to get me drugs, right? My brother was going to get me drugs. They just told him to come down. Why? They said he's not supposed to be 3, he's supposed to be 2 at the back. He said he did not know. The driver should have told him not to enter. If they say no, they're taking him to the station. Why is that? He started shouting, my sister is sick. He was calling me. I couldn't even activate because I am sick. It was not like you cannot, if you are taking me, you will take the driver. Because they did not tell me. I don't know, I've been indoors. My sister is sick, that's why I'm going out. Then these things need to be checked. We are not saying that these people are
abuse of power.
It has to be checked.
Intimidation.
Because he's a boy. Not every boy is a fraud, is a fraudster. Not every boy, most boys are hustling legit hustle.
Yeah. But they are just tagging them fraudsters because of the way they dress.
Okay,
some people are just
there are still some bad eggs. Are we?
No, definitely they are, but they shouldn't rub off those people who are not who are innocent with those people who are not innocent. They will be able to identify them when they ask.
I'll still say this loudly and clearly.
2 to 3 questions.
Dress the way you want to be addressed. That's the start of it. I'm not saying the police, or yes, I have to say who they are. I'm not saying that they don't do things illegally. I'm not saying that they are not very overdoing when they're actually carrying out their
duties,
whatever. But the fact is, to avoid getting into their problems, you play your own part. You like I'll keep saying, dress the way you want to be addressed. When you look like what they are looking for, what do you think? They will definitely want to pick you up.
What do we now say to those who try to avoid them by all means,
and yet they fall into their trap?
Then that's when you know that the police are just plain evil.
No, not just plain evil, but they take advantage of your humility for stupidity.
No,
for you.
I don't know about
you. Haven't really been involved with cases.
If you don't talk, they see that opportunity to press you down.
I'm not just a presenter. I'm also a reporter.
Yes.
So it's I'm not talking because I just want to
from
talk.
The ones you've seen, right?
Okay, let's go on the short break because the tension here is becoming too much. We'll go on the short break, and when we get back, we'll continue actually discussing corruption. Is it just the big men? Is it just politicians that are corrupt? Or is it a general thing? This is Ladies Night. My name is Ameze Obai7. We will be right back.
Advice to the public on the coronavirus. The World Health Organization, WHO, recommends you take the following measures. Know that most people who become infected experience mild illness and recover, but it can be more severe for others. Take care of your health and protect others by doing the following.
Regularly and thoroughly clean your hands with an alcohol-based hand sanitizer or wash them with soap and water. Washing your hands with soap and water or using alcohol-based hand sanitizer kills viruses that may be on your hands.
Maintain at least 1 meter, which is 3 feet distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing.
Hands touch many surfaces and can pick up viruses. Once contaminated, hands can transfer the virus to your eyes, nose, or mouth. From there, the virus can enter your body and can make you sick.
Make sure you and the people around you follow good respiratory hygiene. This means covering your mouth and nose with your bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then dispose of the tissue immediately.
Stay home if you feel unwell. If you have a fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical attention and call in advance. Calling in advance will allow your healthcare provider to quickly direct you to the right health facility. If you develop fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical advice promptly, as this may be due to a respiratory infection or other serious condition.
Be informed.
Be prepared.
Be smart.
Be safe.
Be ready to fight COVID-19.
This message is brought to you courtesy Independent Television and Radio.
All right, welcome back. It's still Ladies Night right here on ITV. My name is Ameze Obaisiakon. We're still talking about corruption, and yes, you can be a part of the program. You can send in a text message or a WhatsApp message. The number to send your message to is 0811 9944287. It's scrolling on the screen in case you didn't get it just right now. I'm going to take some messages which have already come in. This one says, I sometimes do this. I add little amounts to get my gain. I think she's talking about what we were discussing before we went on the break. The person also says, but when the amount added is now the same or more than the price for the product or service, it is corruption. Some persons will say it is business, but all I know, it is cheating, corrupt and ungodly. This is coming from Chisom Roman from Benin. So she's saying that when you add excess money to your business, it's actually cheating, corruption, and it is ungodly as well. Okay, this next one says, corruption in my own term is doing what is wrong to favor yourself, family members, and friends. I think that's what C. White was trying to talk about earlier on. Person also says, almost all individuals are corrupt. Mama P will like what I'm going to say now. But on different magnitudes. One having any interest in a particular thing is corruption because he or she will do anything to have his or her way. This is coming from Nusa from Benin. Okay. This next one says, this is a question. Is over-gaining or wanting big profit from sales an act of fraudulence? Mama P, you are an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Is over-gaining or wanting big profit from sales an act of fraudulence?
Should I answer realistically or what they want to hear?
Realistically.
Okay, being a realist, it depends on who you are over-gaining from. Do you understand?
Okay, so it's good to collect so much from a rich man who can afford to give you that amount.
See, let me tell you something. I've approached someone. Let me use myself as an instance. If it's corruption, I'm going to stop. But I've approached someone and he wants to buy this particular thing. You get, and I'm like, I have it, and I know this is original. I bought it original, but because he's a rich man, he turns me down and said he wants the original. But this is the original. I know the fake, but probably he's used to those high prices in ShopRite and the rest of them. And based on me, I don't have a shop, it's just an e-business. I'm like, okay, no problems. So the next time he ordered for something similar, I took it to him and I had to increase price, to meet up to his standard. It's all about packaging, because other places he goes to, like the big supermarkets, I think that's the price he sees there. But me, I'm not adding money because I'm not paying for shop rent, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. It's an e-business. So it's, at that point, I wouldn't say I'm being corrupt. I'm just trying to meet up to, level up to
his
a new standard. Do you understand? But it doesn't mean when I now see someone who needs that particular thing for the normal amount, I will not say no because I want excess gain. This is what it is now. That is when I'm being greedy.
Okay, how about a person who knows, okay, this man is rich, he has a lot of money, and you see him, anytime someone tells him this thing is 2,000, he just gives them, doesn't even ask,
that is because he doesn't
price or anything. Now, because you've known that this person is like that, you start increasing your own very well and giving to him.
No, see, I'm not going to, business is dicey. Business is really, really dicey. If you want to judge from this perspective, you might judge people's intent wrongly. Now, there are also people who don't have up to the amount. Have you seen someone come to beg you like, Mama, I really need this thing for tomorrow's event, and this is the amount I have. Do you understand? You know that this person will not even have money to pay you later. and you'll be like, out of you just say, take it. Because you know you have someone who doesn't care about prices. You use that one and cover up. My own pain is when you now take it as an attitude. Like me, what I sell for this person is not the same. For my friends, I sell almost cost price or below cost price. It's funny. But I have clients who would even buy at an expensive price and add Jara just because they want to encourage me. It's when you now take, you know, intent matters, motives matters. Yeah. It's when you now take it, some persons just take it as, no, na so it be for market. Lie don't they enter. But you know, say not be so it be for market. You're just being greedy. Yeah. You can sell for this person 5,000 naira, but because you sold 15,000 naira and the person was there and you don't want to look as if you are a thief, you now say, no, na 14,500 I buy them. When you bought it 3,500, far below intent matters. It's when, you know, we business, and anybody doing business can relate to what I'm saying. Your intentions of selling for some persons, if you go and give them this laptop for 50,000 naira, they will tell you, no, it's the fake, because they are used to seeing it in a show glass for 250,000 naira. You will lose that customer. You just have to give him. Your mind will even be telling, like, sometimes you see me, I will now buy gifts to go and give the person, you know, to satisfy my conscience that it's too much, but I don't want to lose him. What you bought. Do you understand? So it's just it. But when it now becomes a constant thing, like, this is how it is now, so it be for market, I buy and 4,950, whereas you put it 1,000 naira.
Sometimes
it's just intentions matters.
To say funny things, like they begin to swear to God. They are just in a bid to make excess gain. You also tag yourself a liar. You can never be straightforward. Sorry to say this, a lot of business people are never straightforward people. Never. Because they will never tell you that this is the way it is. And it baffles me where they get to use people's brain, because they know that this person does not really have fashion sense and this person does not know anything about this particular thing he or she is buying. They try to confuse you. They try to make you buy it higher than what you're supposed to. And now what Ameza is even saying is different. I just really thought in a direction. Those big men who wouldn't even price too much, but they care about the price. They will even ask you, is this the price for this? You know, some will not just ask, bring it to my office, I'll refund you, I will give you your money later. You know, but some will ask, is this the price for this? And because you know they have money to pay, you can actually give them the original price, you know, and they wouldn't even add a little tip. But because you know they have money, something you're going to sell for 5,000 naira, like, no guys, the price is 50,000 naira. It's even because of you I'm not selling it 70,000. Just because you know this person. Anybody that tells me that word, I hate it. I don't know why. I don't like hearing that word. It's because of you. Because it hurts me. Whenever you tell me that thing, it's a turn off for me. I will look back with any possible means and anything available for me there. I will make do of it just for me not to buy you that particular item again. I would so be discouraged, because you can't be telling me it's because of me. You don't know me from anywhere. See where from this day forward, it's because of me. No, I don't know from you again. There are even people that will even tell me because of me. I will understand because they know me. But you don't even know me from anywhere. You're telling me it's because of me. Oh my God.
Okay, now last week on the show, we actually talked about a man going to the market for his wife. And there was a market woman who I actually interviewed when I went there. And she said, what is a man going to go and do in the market? He should not help me. I'll go myself. Because when I go to a market, fish that is 500 naira, I can tell him, honey, I bought this fish 600 naira. Yeah. Then you chucking, that's how she said it, then you chucking the remaining 100 naira. Is that corruption?
It is. You know what I would say it is? If that is your reason for going to the market, it is very wrong. But if you're just going to the market because you feel this is your responsibility, or this is what you feel like doing, or you don't want to stress your husband about it, it's fine, it's okay. But if it is because of the personally, I beg. Okay, wait, I will say this. You see, all these husband and wife matter. You're not a party to it. They're not a poor mats. You get men wasting stinging. You understand what that is also. Some women, so some men is the only way you can get apart from the money for food. And the woman just wants to get extra money. And if you are just trying to dupe your husband, when you know if you ask him for money, he's going to give you. That's stupidity, not even corruption. It's stupid. You are just being stupid and unnecessarily unfair to him. You know, if you ask him for this money, he will give to you. There are some men who really care. But there are some men that apart from the 2,000 naira they drop for soup, they will not drop money for biscuits. They will not know that children need to change their uniform. Do you understand? So and sometimes when you hook them for neck, it's all those little money that you see the woman trying to gather. When you even hook the man, say transport fare no day. If you do body, you might not ask the wife to say, take. Because you already know your husband and go. After this takes me back to the post I actually saw on Instagram. A woman that built a mansion with the savings she made from the market share.
And that's it.
And I was the husband actually collapsed when the woman said, "Honey, this is the house I built from the savings I made from the market I've been going since I got married to you." Now, let's not also mistake the savings women do out of the same
Intent is all that matters.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Because the mindset you have about the savings matters a lot.
Yes.
If you decide to be saving the money you make from those little gain when you go to the market, or you want to be quite like extravagant, you want to spend
you just
everything,
won't know.
you want to
Some
buy
persons just want to be
save.
unnecessarily smart. You know, some men don't really bother about, if you tell them I want this for this thing, you see that they'll tell you I can give you this amount. They won't check if that's the original price. One man complained on a relationship page how this lockdown the gas and the wife was using to cook got exhausted, and he wanted to go and refill, only to find out that he's been paying 12,000 naira for gas, but he was able to fill the gas with about 4,000 naira. That he cannot comprehend that he gives this woman everything, and every other thing he's been buying or paying for, he just found out that they're almost times 3. That marriage is at the verge of breaking. He feels duped because this woman wakes up to money under her pillow. So why are you being unnecessarily smart, young woman? Why?
No, like see what it said just now, that
it's building a house.
He built a house.
Wait, what was he saying? So what is he saying? That's why you cut it. You know what?
Okay, see.
No, what I'm saying.
Like
Siwais actually said just now that the lady was using the money she was in quotes stealing from her husband to build a house. Now, why don't you just sit your husband down and say, can't we be saving so and so amount every month or every day to build a house? Why do you have to do it on your own and you're still coming to tell me? What was the essence?
It's just a surprise.
Maybe, no, on that one.
You're using the money to do surprise on your own.
I'm not understanding about
what
what she actually made out of.
See, there are some women,
she got from the market
out of
she's
the
going to.
profit. She's supposed to be making profit.
Yes. It's possible the man gives her
our
money,
house.
You know, a lot of people.
Why am I making profit on what
you?
you gave me?
The Empress. Now, your husband gives you 10,000 naira to go to the market every day. It's none of his business how you spend it, and he doesn't really ask you questions on how you spend it. The only thing he does is just, this is the money I wanted to be going to the market with, and he's consistent about it. He gives you 10,000 naira every week.
Because when you said every month, I said which house is that one?
No. Sorry, I used that word every week.
So every week, below 10,000 naira.
You know, but let me just say 10,000 naira every week.
Maybe just 2 of them.
You just feel like 10,000 naira every week. Okay, I'll be saving 2,000 naira. It's none of his business. What you do with the money does not concern him. You understand? His own aim is 10,000 naira every week for our feeding. I think you deemed it fit to be setting aside 2,000 naira as savings. And at the end of the day, you just feel like, what will I do with this money?
If I give you money to buy food, to buy rice, and you do not buy that rice, you have done me wrong as far as I'm concerned.
No.
Or you went and bought a cheaper rice because you want to get extra money that you want to save to buy me hair later. I will not be happy with you.
Listen, you're misunderstanding CY. Now, there are some men who just have a particular amount they give to their wife monthly.
Definitely, most men do that.
There are some, like that family, I'm not sure they are an average family. I'm sure they are a bit well-to-do.
Yeah.
You get that kind of family where they drop 500,000 naira for food, restock the house, and then maybe when she's done restocking, there's some kind of excess. You know, the man doesn't really care about it. All I know is they have menu in the house.
So why was that man shocked?
You understand?
No, she was shocked because
it's not about women.
No, I need to read that post. You said it on Instagram. We will look
of course we will.
I need to ensure that
wife can actually do such a thing.
How many women are going to do that?
It's not that. I need to ensure it was not shock of why, how.
Okay, we'll go with up again.
No problem.
The Empress is misunderstanding this whole thing.
I'm not misunderstanding it. Everybody thinks differently.
She will not want to set aside.
Even that man may be thinking something else than what you guys are thinking right now.
Really?
The man was
it's possible. I don't know. I've not seen the post, so I can't talk like that.
He was actually surprised the wife could save up such money to build such a house. He appreciated it.
I'm even sure she probably working, and then out of her salary she's adding, but majorly from the money they see. Some men are generous. That's why if you know your husband is generous, just flow with him the way. Don't try to be over smart.
If
my husband is generous, then I don't need to be saving extra.
No. Don't you surprise your fiance?
Definitely.
No, I'm asking now.
It's not his money that you're using to do that.
No, hold on. Does he give you money?
It's not his money.
But he gives you
He
money.
gives me money for a particular thing.
He gives you money for upkeep, right?
Oh,
Are you gonna say that?
So what you're saying is,
are you gonna say that you can't use the money he gives you for upkeep to get him a gift? Like this guy will try.
No, why would I use your
No,
money?
are you trying to tell me that whatever he gives you, you spend everything? You don't spend some money outside.
I give it for myself. You give it to me for myself, not for me to give him
some money
something.
outside?
You don't just think on your own, because I know you patronize me a lot and you buy him gifts a lot.
So you have to do this live.
I have to do this live.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
But no, I'm saying that from the money he gives, now man, when they try nine girls they lawyer for. That's the truth. It's a slogan that is
The
factual.
Empress is trying to see it
From the money he gives
You can't give me money and then I will not say, okay, give me 10,000. Let me use 5,000 for what he said I should use it for. Then the remaining 5,000 I use it and buy one shoe for him.
No, this is not what we are saying here. This is not what
That's
we're saying.
indirectly.
No,
see.
we mean he actually give you money, right? If he doesn't give you money, you won't be able to save your own personal money. You end up spending your own money with what he is supposed to be doing for you. So in a situation whereby your man gives you money, he also gives you room to save your own personal money. So you can actually buy
I
him
can see
gifts.
why that man, I know why that man was really shocked. It's not normal for women, most
It's
women.
rare.
It's rare for a woman to use money she will use to level up to other ladies in the society
To
and
build a house.
building a house and be trying to package you and be trying to give you a gift. It's very rare.
It's
Even
very
me, I
rare.
learned it late, but I've learned it eventually. Yes, I said
Come
it.
learn from me.
I said it.
All right. Let's take some more messages. This one says corruption is not for big men and politicians alone. It applies to every individual. Yes, adding money to the specific amount to get your own is a worse corruption. Every individual is corrupt. This is coming from Frank Osize Mete. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Now this one is really long. Okay, it says the issues of corruption. Okay, the issue of corruption rather has eaten deeply into the globe, most especially in Nigeria. It's not only the big men or the politicians that were affected. It also affects some ministers in the churches. It also affects those with small or big scale industries, the army, the police, and all paramilitary recruitment management teams are not left out. Before you will be shortlisted for employment, you will be compelled to pay ransom. Are you sure you're understanding what you're saying?
Ransom, bribe. I
Ransom.
think he meant bribe.
Okay, maybe it's bribe. Yet there will be a column for you to sign that you did not pay anything. Okay, please, ladies, is that not corruption? Actually, it is. Or the politicians corrupting some reputable girls or married women by spending extravagantly on them, thereby causing unfaithfulness or breakup in their marriages. A trader bought goods for 30K and sold it ×2 or even above. Corruption has grown wider in this society, and may God Almighty deliver us all from it in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Thanks, ladies, from Austin Best DB. Okay, that was a long one, and he actually gave us so many examples of people who are corrupt, which means if you're not careful, even you can be corrupt.
Corruption cuts across many
It cuts
people.
across every single person, every sphere of life. All right, now we're going to take our last words on the show before heading out. I'll start with C. White. Last words before we head out. What do you think about corruption? Is it something that can leave Nigeria and the world at large? Is it something that we can do away with?
Well, it's something you can actually do away with as an individual, because it's going to be very difficult to work or to deal with it generally. You have to start with your own self. Yes, as an individual, deal with it. In everything you're doing, you have to try as much as possible to be transparent. Transparency matters a lot. Even if temptation comes, because it will definitely come, things will come to push you to do some certain things you don't want to do. And if you're transparent enough and honest to yourself enough, you will be able to avert it. No, talk to yourself, I can't do this. Even if you're tempting me to do this, I won't be able to do it. So try to be transparent in everything you're doing. Truthfulness, and let me also say this, end impunity. Because sometimes you just get to see yourself doing unnecessary things. You find yourself doing them, all because you want to pave your way, you want to buy your way in, you want to get to some certain position, you want shortcut and all that. You're paying your way, you're buying your way and all that. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy your way if need be, but know that buying your way is corruption. So try as much as possible to avoid anything that will make you do anything that has to do with corruption. That's just it.
Okay, Mama P, how about you?
Okay, I know people will be expecting me to say corruption is going to go out of the world if we try.
It will not.
Corruption will never, ever leave Nigeria, leave this world. I'm standing by that fact. Yes, the default state of man is sin, is sinful state. That's why when you give your life to Christ, you become born again to the Christians. Do you understand? Because you are born into this world a sinful person. It's biblical. Do you understand? So it's now a choice. It's I've given you this, a choose who you use. It's now a choice to become a better person. So the choice lies to you personally to be a good person. Although it's difficult most times, it looks as if you are behind because you are not following the particular trend. You're in an ATM and a one security man, you have to tip him and then he'll go and get your money and do the transfer. And you've been under the sun, it's so difficult. But if you can principle yourself, you find out that your life will just be somehow different from the rest. You understand? Faulting your government until the government change, I will not change. You're just fooling yourself. It won't work. It will not work. We don't expect the government to. If I stop expecting the government to change, expect yourself to change. Do you understand? You pay bribery for your children to have admission into post-UTME. That's corruption, right?
Yeah. That's
corruption. So certain things, instead, tell your children to read. If you read and you pass this exam, I'm going to give you 100,000. That's the 100,000 you would have still used to bribe. But are you bribing your child? No, you are just motivating the child.
Yeah.
Do you understand? My dad motivated me too. So just try it on your own self to be at peace with your God, especially just do your own that you can do. But as for corruption, living this fear of the world,
it goes nowhere.
No way.
I don't totally agree. I feel we should all try to be the change that we want to see in society. Don't always look at the big men or the politicians or those at the helm of affairs and say they are the ones who are spoiling this country. You have a part to play. Each and every one of us have a part to play in ensuring that our world is a better place in general. Yes, you can always be a part of our program. We are live on Facebook. Search for Ladies Night on ITV Radio, or just simply go to itvradioNigeria.com on Facebook. We're also on YouTube if you want to watch previous episodes of the program as well. This one will also be there very soon, so you can also go back and check it up. My name is Ameze Obaisiagwan. Thanks a lot for being a part of the show today, and have a beautiful night rest.